The Court Youth Center is an after-school program, a community-based, arts-based program that works after school and weekends and in the summer. And it works with students from early childhood to like 24-year-olds, all based in the arts. And we produce many things throughout the community, everything from public art to productions to literary work, everything that is involved in the arts through career development and leisure, so that you look at the arts in everything that you do in your life. I became involved actually with the Court Youth Center. It wasn't called the Court Youth Center at that time, in 1988, when then Reuben Smith, he was a state representative from Las Cruces, and he called me up and he says, this beautiful building is deteriorating, and he went to school here. He says, I have an idea, let's turn Court Junior High into a youth center concentrating on arts and physical activity, because he's a musician and he played basketball. So he brought those two ideas together. And he knew my work in Albuquerque, and he said, what should I do with it? And he got me involved on the board of directors, and he says, we need your help, it's not moving, what do you want to do? And I just it was like a beacon. I saw the drawing of what they wanted to do with this building. At that time, you couldn't even come upstairs here where we are. The floors were in the classrooms, they hadn't taken care of the roof. Your foot could go through the floor. It was a mess. This classroom right here, it had its horrible graffiti. It was awful, but I could see the potential. So I just said, I got time. This is that beginning of that 1994 where we had a cleanup day. And you can see from these pictures that it was a mess. The only ones that were here in this building were homeless people. It was their hotel. And the skateboard kids would sneak in because they love these hallways. And the community came out, about 300 people came out to clean up this place. So that's how I got involved and then it took us 2 years to get the first appropriation, renovated that, and we opened in July of 1996. And that's what this article is. And it says, Youth Center Dream Becomes Reality's programs start Monday. So we actually started our first program, which was a 2-week summer program with 80 middle school kids, in the concept that the center has continued, where you have professional artists, you have educators, you have youth apprentices working with kids to produce art and activities. And that formula has not changed in the 20 years. You ought to start a charter school. You know, you have the building, you have the theory, you've worked in schools as artists in residence. I helped start an art school in Albuquerque that was an elementary school, Longfellow Elementary. So they knew of my work there, and they said, start a charter school. I said, oh my God, that's too much work. Who wants to do that? At the same time, we were doing a half-day program with what was then San Andres school in Mesilla. It's now Rio Grande Prep. And they would come here, actually upstairs in this area was their classrooms. They would come here for English and for visual art. And one of the kids said to me, I don't know why this isn't our school all day long. We do so much stuff here. And when he said that, his name is Eric Chavez, I said, oh, well, maybe I ought to think about this charter school more. So I started to visit. A group of us went to Albuquerque, around New Mexico, to look at the charter schools that had opened. And after that visit, we knew we could start a charter school. So we wrote the charter. And when you write a charter, it is the concept of what your school is going to be. It was arts integration, arts-based. I took the lessons or the belief systems of Court Youth Center, which is positive youth development, arts integration, community collaboration, all those ideas of the youth center to start the charter school and presented it to the Las Cruces Public Schools. They approved it in December of 2002, and we opened in July of 2004 because we had the building. And so what happened, because Court Youth Center was an after-school program, we knew that certain things in the day couldn't happen anymore in the building, but we still continued our after-school program. I want to have an effect in our city, and I'm starting with Main Street and the two historic neighborhoods, which is Alameda and the Mesquite neighborhood. I want to see art studios. I want to see businesses of art. I want to see the things that are already happening in different areas of our country, and they're called vibrant, creative communities. That's what I want to see in 10 years, and I think it can happen. And my next project that I want, I'm going to need the community's help, just like when we started this project. We're moving across the street, the nonprofit, and we're starting a new thing called the Alameda Art Yard, and to the property we own across the street, which is where all the graffiti is. And we're going to work with the city. We got to get all this okayed, but we want to start a coffee house that is youth-led, because the kids want someplace that is their own. And when I'm talking about older kids from high school to 24, that they can hang out, they can do their open mics, they can show their artwork, they can have their place. We have a garden back there that needs loving and caring, so we want to have a garden and a seed center and a lot of digital. We want to work in film. So that's the next thing, because film is coming to Las Cruces, and we want to be part of that film community. But you need if you're going to create a vibrant arts town, then what I say you need three things. You need consumers of art, you need advocates of art, and you need producers of art. You don't produce art if you're not taught how to produce art, so you got to have that education. You don't consume art if you don't know that it's something that you need in your life. And you don't advocate for art if it's not around you. So you need all of these three, I think, these three publics to make something happen. And I think that society needs it. I also think our kids need it. And so my life has become working with youth and how they need to understand how they contribute to their community. They are not just observers, they have become observers of their lives instead of participants of their lives. And I think the art allows you to be that participant. So my email is iolewis@zianet.com. So if a student, if a parent thinks that their child really could flourish in an arts environment school, and we also have the academics, we're very good. We have the highest graduation rates, our numbers and our tests are very high. So you build these two things as a scholar and an artist. So they can look at the website, and it's almadearte.org, and the Court Youth Center is just courtyouthcenter.com. So that's how it started, and it's really been a pleasure, a dream, a work of love. Just it's been an incredible avenue for so many hundreds, if not thousands of people.